to something to talk about.
Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco. I'm covering a Song of Ice and Fire character for you. Which one? This one, Stonesnake, a veteran ranger of the Night's Watch. And where is he? You guys know Stonesnake? You guys ever read the Song of Ice and Fire books? That's cool. You don't need to. It's fine. I'm going to talk about a character, though, as if you read them. What am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you spoilers for the books and the show. So if you, the show is the Game of Thrones, and sometimes what's the Fire and Blood show? The Dragon show. The Dragon show and the Thrones show. I'm not drunk. I'm really not. I don't really drink anymore. I just come off that way. All right. So we're talking Stonesnake. And it's funny because I just covered a Let's Talk About the Difference for Orel. I always want to say Orwell, but there's no W. Orel. And I'm literally covering the exact same scene I did in that one, but from somebody else's point of view. So I had to listen to that chapter a second time. Shout out to David Reed's Song of Ice and Fire. In like a week and write down what this character did when last time I was writing down what this character was doing. So, it's pretty funny. All right, so let's get into Stonesnake. Let's climb right up in there. Stonesnake is a veteran ranger of the Night's Watch stationed at the Shadow Tower. So Stonesnake is short and wiry, nearly 50, with a gray beard. He is stronger than he looks and has the best night eyes of anyone John has ever known. That means he's got night vision. He's like a cat. He's a Stonesnake cat. Yeah, write that down. Stonesnake is regarded as one of the best climbers in the Night's Watch by Qhorin Halfhand. Probably one of the best climbers in the entire books that I know of. Right up there with Chapter 1 Bran. So he doesn't really keep climbing too much after that. And Maya Stone, I guess. Yeah. Who are the best climbers in the Song of Ice and Fire lore? Write it in the comments. Also, I'm just going to talk about Shadow Tower anyways, too, just because it's a good time to tell you guys about the Shadow Tower. The Shadow Tower is one of the 3 castles along the wall that are still inhabited by the Night's Watch by the start of the books. It is located next to the Northern Mountains at the western end of the wall, and it lies west of Sentinel Stand and east of West Watch by the bridge. Both are abandoned castles. 200 men of the watch are stationed at the Shadow Tower. Not much longer. They sent most of their guys away. All right, let's talk about the Night's Watch. The Night's Watch is a military order dedicated to holding the wall and immense fortification to the northern border of the Seven Kingdoms, defending the realms from what lies beyond the wall, mostly Snarks and Grumpkins. The Order's foundation dates back to the Age of Heroes, at the time where the others were pushed back. The men of the Night's Watch wear only black and are known as Black Brothers. Recruits who join the Watch are said to take the black. The Night's Watch consists of 3 orders: stewards, builders, and rangers. They are subject to the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and each of the 3 orders are led by its own officer, Lord Steward, and First Builder, and First Ranger, respectively. These officers are appointed by the Lord Commander. Everybody got that? All right. Starting off with the Great Ranging. Lord Commander Mormont leads 300 sworn brothers of the Night's Watch, including 200 from Castle Black and 100 from the Shadow Tower. They only got 200 people there. And they're going north beyond the wall. It is the biggest ranging in living memory, consisting of near a third of the Watch's strength. I hope they don't all die. The Great Ranging goals are: 1, to discover why the wildlings who lived close to the wall were leaving their villages. 2, learn more about the so-called King Beyond the Wall, Mance Rayder. 3, find First Ranger Benjamin Stark and Waymar Royce and the other Rangers who have recently disappeared. And 4, I don't have which just whatever the next one is, to discover further information on what caused the corpses of Jaffa Flowers and Othor to rise as from the dead as whites. One of the once at the Fist of the First Men, Qhorin Halfhand arrives with 100 men from the Shadow Tower. Stonesnake is part of the reinforcements from the Shadow Tower. The men from the Shadow Tower were delayed because they met Elfin Crow Killer and his men who have been scouting. Wow. They killed a wildling leader. Crow Killer, and took some captives, but lost 4 men in the process. Shucks. I'm about to lose a lot more. All right. The scouting mission, maybe I should have named it. The in Mormont's tent, so they're hanging out in Mormont's tent. Jon overhears Qhorin telling Mormont about the captive, claiming that Mance Raider, so they have one of the captives, right, has wargs mammoths in his army, and that Mance plans to breach the wall. Qhorin tells them that Mance is seeking something high in the cold places of the Frostfangs. Quote, some power or artifact. Some power. Qhorin advises the Old Bear to send scouts into the mountains. And Mormont first bucks the idea. He's like, I don't want to do that. And then Qhorin advises him 15 men, 3 groups of 5, 1 to probe the Melkwater, 1 the Skirling Pass, and 1 to climb the Giant's Stairs. Then he suggests himself, Jarman Buckwell, and Thorin Smallwood as command. I covered Thorin Smallwood before. I'm trying to think of characters we've talked about so far. That's it, right? Yeah. I've covered Thorin Smallwood. Just so you guys know. If you guys want to know what happened there. Whatever happened there. Qhorin finally agrees and tells Qhorin to pick his men, and he immediately picks Jon Snow alongside Evan, Squire Dalbridge, Stonesnake, our boy. So yeah, and Stonesnake. So yeah, he's like, you can pick any man of the watch. He's like, Jon Snow. He's like, what the? Why? He's not even a ranger. He's my squire. He's like, who cares? I want him. The old powers are at it again, and that guy got some warging in him. Look at him. He's wargy, and you can tell. Qhorin's, that's who I've covered. I've covered Qhorin Halfhand. Wow. As Qhorin Halfhand party moves through the Skirling Pass, that's where they're headed, right? They note a fire half a mile ahead. Wow, you're noticing that fire from a while. And 2,000 feet up in the pass. Perfect for watchers. Stonesnake says they'll have a horn. What am I doing for the voice of Stonesnake? I didn't think about it. I don't like this. Let's do something a little more gruff. Yeah, all right. How about this? I'll do like Bill Pullman like channel, like when he's doing the speech in Independence Day. Good morning. Yeah, I'll do this. That's not a good Bill Pullman. Dang it. What should I do for Stonesnake? Yeah. No. Should I just I'm going the wrong way, all right? I'm going like gruff. Maybe it should be like maybe tired. Oh man. No, that's like dolorous set. I'll just go with the Bill Pullman that doesn't sound like Bill Pullman. All right. This is it. He said, they'll have a horn. And Qhorin states that it's a horn that they cannot blow. Eben says that the climb will be long and cruel at night. Qhorin judges the fall will be long as well. And it says that they'll need 2 men to dispatch the watchers. Stonesnake speaks up fast with a simple me. And Jon Snow volunteers as well. Qhorin tells Jon to leave Ghost, and it tells Stonesnake to throw down a burning brand while it's all done. So yeah, the climb. No better time to start than now. Yeah, all right, I don't mind it. You know, I'm starting to almost sound like Solid Snake, and his name's Stonesnake. Maybe I should do that. What's a Solid Snake? Yeah, all right. Solid Snake. No, that's not a good Solid Snake. I'm not actually really good at voice acting. I'm not voice acting, just impressions. Him and Jon both grab long coil rope, and Stonesnake brings a bag of iron spikes and a small hammer with its head wrapped in thick felt. They leave their helmets, mail, and horses behind. Snake takes the lead, and Jon judges that he needs his keen eyes at night tonight. It's like, yeah, he'll need to use those big old keen eyes. Ooh. The two climbers move through the black shadows amongst the black robes of amongst the black rocks. Yeah, they're like moving around the black shadows of the black rocks up the steep, twisted trail. It's a slow and long climb, but it's treacherous and cold. 2 hours into the climb, they get hit with a heavy wind, and once they get past it and they are high up in the mountain, Jon knows not to look down, and Stonesnake, he thinks about advice that Stonesnake gave him a few days ago during an easier climb, when Stonesnake said, "The mountain is your mother. Cling to her, press your face up against her teats, and she won't drop you." Eventually, they get to a sheer wall near the top, and Stonesnake tells Jon quietly, "Straight up here. We'll want to get above them." He takes off his gloves and ties one end of the rope to himself and then the other to Jon, and then he says, "Follow me when the rope goes taut. Follow me when the rope goes taut." I added a comma. "Follow me when the rope goes taut." So, yeah, he doesn't wait for Jon to answer. He then scales a little bit of the wall, and he's going super faster than Jon could ever believe. He climbs really quick. And then once the rope is tight, Jon then follows, right? I don't have it all written, but eventually, after catching up with Snake and starting again, they make it to the top with help of the iron spikes that Snake brought. So, yeah, Snake climbs up the cliff, and then it's tight, so Jon climbs. And then when he makes it up, Snake is like just leaning, and he's got the rope tied somewhere. So Snake's climbing up, tying the rope, and then like making sure that Jon knows. And then Jon climbs, and then he's doing that until they get up to the top. So yeah, doing some climbing. I've never mountain climbed before. It looks really fun, but really scary. I'm not really into that. Like, oh, if I make one mistake, I'll die. As anyone who can tell by my my spelling and just overall presentation of my YouTube channel, I make a lot of mistakes. And you can't climb mountains the way that I write. You'd fall. All right, the Watchers. Once to the small camp of wildlings, Snake and Jon, remember, they're like above them, right? They like climbed higher than them. They climb to a cliff edge above them, only feet away from the Watchers. I got a yawn. There we go. Got through it. They see 3 Watchers, a redhead wrapped in furs sleeping. Wonder which one that one is. The second one feeding the fire, and the third one watching the pass with the horn. If you just watched my Orel video like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you're going to be like, dude, I remember all this. You just covered it. I know. Telling me. I just covered it. I know. Snake then touches Jon's arm and then points, or I already said a third guy who's watching the pass with a horn, right? And then Snake touches Jon's arm and points to the man with the horn. And then Jon nods and he points to the one with the fire. They're picking which man to kill. Oh my God, that Jon came back with a vengeance. Snake's moved fast as his namesake. I don't know, are stone snakes really quick? I guess all snakes are pretty quick. They slither, right? So keep in mind, cool little tidbit. This is Jon's, like, besides undead people, this is his like first kill, right? Like, it seems like that when I read the book. I didn't go back to like look, but I'm pretty sure this is Jon's first kill, and it haunts him forever because the guy he kills haunts him and hunts him as a eagle for like a long time because that's Orel. So that's pretty funny. So yeah, Snowstick touches. All right, where was I? So yeah, they pick which man to kill. The Snowstick moves as fast as his namesake, leaping down onto the wildlings. It all happens in a heartbeat. The Watcher reached for his horn, but not his sword, and he gets the horn up to his lips, and then Snowstick hits it away with a swipe of his short sword. And then Jon fights the one near the fire, armed with a brand, killing him. And then after Snowstick kills the Watcher, we don't know how he does, They then find the sleeper is a girl. A girl. John hesitates to end her, stating that it's a girl. And Snowstick corrects him. A watcher. A watcher. A wildling. Finish her. John can't do it. He just can't. And forces her to yield and be their captive. Snowstick tells him Qhorin said nothing about taking captives. But John says he said nothing about not taking them. And he says, she's a spear wife. She was reaching for that when you grabbed her. You give her half a chance and she'll bury it between your eyes. John says that he won't give her half a chance. I'm not going to let her kill me. Don't worry about it. Shut up. Ygritte, that's her name, by the way, tells her his name, and then he tells her his name, and that he's a bastard of Ned Stark. And Snowstick chuckles and says, it's the captain's supposed to tell things, remember? He feeds the fire and adds, not that she will. I know wildlings to bite their tongues off before they give before they will answer a question. Yeah. Sorry. I shouldn't have went with that voice either, because now my throat's starting to hurt. I want to bring up every time I use this art that I love this art. So anytime I do this scene, which has happened a few times now, 3 times now, I get to cover that art, because in the Qhorin I used it, and then in Orel I use it, and now Stonesnake. Yeah, the art's so good. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty picture. All right, the captive. Snowstick tosses a burning branch off the cliff to alert Qhorin. Ygritte tells them to burn the bodies. Snowstick scans the distance and for more lights and asks, are there more wildlings close by? Is that it? She repeats herself. Yeah, burn the bodies, and then she warns them that they might need them swords if they don't. So Stonesnake then strips the clothes off the corpses and then tosses the bodies off the cliff to be eaten by shadow cats. So she's like, burn the bodies, and she's thinking we don't want them to become zombies, dude. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're going to let your friends, huh? And she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, Ryan, if you're worried about zombies, let's just get them naked. Because there's no naked zombies. And we're going to feed them to the shadow cats. That way the shadow cats get to eat. And also, you can't be a zombie if you're in a belly. I mean, it's facts. You can't. It'd be a weird... Just your stomach gargling. Oh, that's that zombie I ate. All right. Yeah, so they get eaten by shadow cats. Stonesnake and John question her about wildlings and why they came to the Frostfangs. And when they will march, she refuses to answer any questions. And Stonesnake says, if she spits out her tongue, don't say I didn't warn you. Freaking hilarious. She tells John a story about Bael the Bard, saying that he was a great ranger before he was king of the free folk. And Stonesnake snorts and says, a murderer, robber, and a word I don't use, is what you mean. As in, like, great ranger, he's a savage, is what Stonesnake's trying to say. And then Ygritte finishes the story of Bael the Bard. When Qhorin and the others arrive at dawn, Snowstick tells him there were 3 of them, and Ygritte recognizes the Halfhand and confirms that the wildlings would have killed him if they yield. So it's like Qhorin's trying to make a point, like, oh, you yielded and you're alive. Ygritte, can you please tell John what would happen if we were to yield? And she's like, we'd kill you slowly, torture you. It's like, that's why we don't take her captive. But she's a cute redhead. Yeah, we know. Clearly, that's why. Qhorin's men state that she should be killed, and then Qhorin leaves John alone with Ygritte to carry out the task, and John fails and lets her go. He's like, I've seen the later books, man, and I want her alive. We hang out in this cave later on. Woo-wee. Sorry, Qhorin. You can bet your bottom knuckles, Qhorin Halfhand, because he doesn't have any. Not all of them. He's only lost a couple of his fingers. The eagle. The weather in the Skirling Pass gets worse. They leave Squire Dullbridge to keep the wildlings at bay at the pass. I did cover Squire Dullbridge a super long time ago, actually. So there is another person that I covered. Uh-oh. Am I frozen? Sorry, I hope I didn't freeze along. I think I froze there for a bit. Yeah, I did cover Squire Dullbridge a long time ago, and probably not that well. It was like quite a while ago. But yeah, there is another character. Leaving 4 left. Later, they spot an eagle following. Stonesnake tries to pull out his bow, but the eagle flies away before it looses him. And Eben curse and spats about wargs and skin changers. And they see the eagle twice more after. And then they hear the wildling party coming to chase him. So they know the eagle is like following them, and the wildlings are following them through the eagle. Qhorin sends Eben back, leaving 3. And then days and nights bleed together as the 3 of them try to lose the wildlings. They try to destroy their tracks, but every morning they spot the eagle watching them. They were scaling a low ridge between 2 mountains as a shadow cat jumps out, snarling at them. The beast sends Stonesnake's horse into a panic, and she ran before she could get back under control. She stumbles and breaks her leg. So then Ghost and the Rangers share the horse meat, and then they leave the rest to Shadowcats. Yeah, they eat the horse. Knowing that they cannot ride double, he volunteers to stay back and surprise the wildlings and take a few of them to the hells with him. And Qhorin says, no, I'm not going to let you just stay here and die. And instead, he says, if any man of the Night's Watch can make it through the Frostfangs alone on foot, it's you. And he goes, it's you, brother. And then he adds, make it back to the Fist of the First Man and tell Jorah Mormont that the old powers are waking and that the trees have eyes again. That's a sentence. All right, moving past that. As Jon watches Stonesnake climb away, he looks like a small bug, and Jon thinks that he has no chance of surviving. Wah, wah. Lost in the Mountains. According to the appendices of the next 3 books, Snowstick is lost in the Scrolling Pass. So according to that book, the appendice is still alive. So there's that. Later in Mance Raiders camp, Mance, I spelled Mance wrong twice, wrong once, but I spelled it 2 different ways, like in the same sentence. Mance adds a rattle shirt for his scouting report, and the Lord of Bonds, wow, I was tired, confirms that the 4 of the Rangers of Jon's squad are dead, while the 4th climbed up a mountain out of reach of terrain and too rough for them to follow. Later, when Jon and the other wildlings climb the wall, Stonesnake is remembered by Jon when he watches the wildling Jarl climb the wall, whose appearance reminds him of the Siouxsie Ranger, before Jarl falls to his death. So there's that. Jon recalls Stonesnake is still afoot and unaccounted for. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna play a Poochie's Dead because we don't know. I got some fun ones for you though. Here, let's get into it. Where is he? So the top question about Snowstick, of course, is he alive? If so, where? When I looked into it, I found that there were many posts on Reddit asking the question, but none really answering them. So leaving the comments to answer. So I just skimmed through a couple of the comment sections of these Reddit posts, and from what I could tell, most people believe that he is alive, since George put such a focus on how awesome his climbing and survival skills are. I did, however, find a post on Reddit that offered a theory, and it was called the, quote, Secret Night's Watch theory by Bojabat 300. A cool theory that there is a hidden and secret watch, like Night's Watch, north of the wall, comprised of half undead members, like of the, quote, Secret Watch. All right, sorry, half dead Rangers. Sorry, they're like, it's like a zombie watch. Is essentially it, right? Members of this, quote, Secret Watch are Benjen, Cold Hands, Bloodraven, and Stonesnake. And to quote it, they break the rules in which the watch obsessively operates, and they use blood magic, necromancy, God knows what else, and are on the table of tools to battle the others. Hell, they may even be involved with parlaying with the Night's King. Yeah, it's some fun stuff. I don't buy it, but it's interesting. Yeah, like Stonesnake and the other Night's Watch guys who keep disappearing are all actually like part of like a secret Avengers, right? Like you got the Avengers, the Night's Watch, right? But these are like the X-Force of them, the more down and dirty Spec Ops, SEAL Team 6 Rangers that are like half-dead zombies. I don't know if that's true, but it's kind of hilarious. I like it. Let's put it out. Let's talk about it. Oh, and then I found some off-the-wall tinfoil by Digloss, 59 or 57.91. Snowstick revealed, and it's just called Snowstick revealed Lady Gregor's secret back in Clash of Kings. And it states that when Snowstick says the mountain is your mother, he was referring to Gregor Clegane is John's mother, and that it's G plus L equals J. Yeah, perfect. No notes. And that also implies that Lyanna's his dad, and Gregor Clegane is John's mother. No notes. Perfect theory. Can't. No holes in that theory. It's not. It's perfect. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed Stonesnake, and I hope I didn't freeze too much back there, or else I have to refilm all this, and no one is seeing this. Which I hope they are, because it'd be a waste of 27 minutes. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I covered rye and red wine earlier in the week, and then I covered Stonesnake. So I covered a white cloak and then a black cloak. So yeah, then a couple weeks ago, a rainbow cloak. Next week, I'm covering guys with beards. Yeah. Okay, peace.